Mageba, Sampunguluta, Utompopolalin, Mageba, Mageba, Naruntivesi, Utompopolalin, Mageba.
Came here trying to survive. Hope I make it alive.
All I just need is to try.
I quit my 8 to 5.
How was your dad shouting? What languages was he using?
Alanga, baby, you know.
Ooh, that crazy.
Yeah.
Alanga's the worst, dog.
You know, huh? And my dad would have a, huh? Like he's not saying anything, huh?
And you can answer. He goes, huh? But you can answer.
Yeah,
If you answer, it's the worst.
You cannot respond even if you want to. So yeah,
can.
hey, it was. So now I'm dealing with that stress.
Yeah.
They realize. I think they also.
So are they
realize-
chasing out the house? What was kind of the vibe? now?
The vibe then was, I think this is 2012. Yeah. So I also now start trying to venture into other spaces. I get, because I'm realizing, this is not working out. Go be a C guide. Need to reapply, and this time it seems like the progression. I think I was only allowed to do it once. So now that's when I start learning how there's comedy happening in the spaces. I think I learned that. Excuse me. I'd learned that over the 2 years in BAC. There's a comedy space. Quest was still alive, and there would be comedy shows. So I'd hit up a
Every
couple of
Wednesday
shows.
or so?
Yeah. So I'd hit up a couple of, and Sundays as well on some days. I'd head up the shows and I started learning. So there are other comedians. For the crazy thing is, I actually thought I was going to comedian Botswana. Second to
How arrogant is that?
it was
How arrogant is that?
no.
Okay.
I'll just say it's naivety.
It's naive,
You know what I was
okay.
at?
Yeah.
I was like,
Okay, so you thought you were the only comedian?
because I'd never met any comedian.
Yeah.
Nikita, all my inspirations were from outside.
Okay.
Nikita, Ashifa Shaba, I knew Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
I knew
Yeah.
I knew a couple of guys that
Yeah.
he had done. I knew Richard Pryor. I'd seen a couple of his things.
Yeah.
But Botswana,
Yeah.
aside from Dig Nash having done the CD, the prank comedy,
Yeah.
and Loose Boy doing his Oteno Kemangantie skit bits, and Bodeizi, I think.
Yeah.
I didn't think there were actual stand-up comedians that existed.
Snap, man. Okay.
And from there, so now I'm starting to learn. Because my mom worked with one of the comedians. I consider him the godfather of comedy because of the way he does his stuff, and also the fact that he, as a stand-up comedian, he paved a lot of way for a lot of us.
Yeah.
I clearly I started comedy before him.
Yeah.
This was like 2004. I get it.
Yeah.
2005.
Yeah.
He says he started in 2008.
Yeah.
But I don't think mine counts for those years.
Yeah.
Then he was, probably doing his own jokes.
Yeah.
And then so by 2010,
Who's this guy?
Mod.
Okay. Yeah.
That's him. That's
Yeah.
Mod.
I know the guy.
You know the guy.
Yeah.
Very, very talented.
Yeah.
So Mod introduced. So now
he's
that
like the godfather.
yeah. So he worked with my mother.
Yeah.
Koko Spania Babaraka Kudi TC. And then even Nakanya Hore. No, can I want to get rid of youths? Parents. So youths. Hey, no, Tisangwana. So Wana comes through, Wana kills. Wana kills. So from there now I start learning those other comedians. Wow, into the presidentiality guys, similar like there's a lot of things that are happening.
Yeah.
And I'm just literally getting to be exposed to them then. And that's when I started appreciating there's a comedy industry, there's a comedy space that is going to, probably blossom and grow into something big.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think we've talked about a lot of random stuff. I think we can
we're
coming in.
We're coming
Yeah,
in.
we're coming bring it in.
I know the comedy space existed, but it was through there was this guy's called Exodus Live Poetry. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Yeah.
The TJ Daima was
There
probably
was
a part of
Kenneth Moing.
Yes, Kenneth Moing, Cut Right.
Yeah.
So he used to do comedy through this poetic kind of thing, and that's kind of how it used to live on. And this and most comedians would find a poetic way to kind of implement, and that's Tswana.
Because I remember Tshireletso did the same thing as well. He'd imitate people as well. I think I'm forgetting who is imitating. I'm imitating on one of the exotics.
Through this poetry and this spoken word, kind of the comedians used to kind of find their way to come in as well.
I think because of that, that's why, because I'd go to all of these exotic shows as well. I mean, I watched your Tsipas, Moletlanye Tsipa, all these talents. I'd watched them, but I still didn't see stand-up comedy
in its traditional sense.
In its traditional sense. I'd see portrayal of people or imitating of people. But I'd never seen somebody come on stage and actually do jokes. Up until I met those guys. So, but I mean, Katraite, I remember even back when I was in primary school, he pulled through and he was singing, Man, because I think that's his song or something like that. And I got to learn about his talents. But the thing was, Nike stand up. Because
okay, so let's ask this question, because right now, with the advent of social media, everyone's called comedian. This person is a comedian. This person is a comedian. This person is a comedian. But there are multiple
genres, or is it genres or
flavors
styles?
To Some people are comedic actors, and especially with what's happening with social media and stuff, with videos and stuff. Some guys can't really do stand up.
I think that,
and a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that some guys can't even MC or are not very articulate. Maybe they got great facial expressions or they got great acting chops. But put them in front and let's ask them to MC
or do a joke. Tell a joke. They might not.
Do you ever get guys trying to cross over from maybe the TikTok space and trying to stand up and MC and stuff?
You know what the thing is? Because the industry of Botswana is so small. You find that everybody wants to stick their fingers any and everywhere where they can. So sharp. There was a thing I'm just gonna share this. There was a meme that I read the other day. I don't know if you've seen the video of the Asian guys, but they have rubber bands on their chest.
Man, that's the
and
worst.
they have a whistle in their mouth. And apparently I didn't even know this about the game. Like the band is pulled. If it hits you, you're not supposed to blow into the whistle. If you blow into the whistle, you go again. So that's the thing. So now somebody had shared that screenshot thing and I love it. Because it has gotten to a point where literally anything that you see on social media that gets appreciation, we want to attach it to everything that will bring us money. So it becomes a thing. Next thing,
he's an MC.
He's an MC.
Like that kid that spoke, the Chinese kid.
Chong. I think that's his name.
Now all of a sudden he's everywhere. And
my thing is, if you channel it properly, you can execute it right. If it's a kid like that, sharp, but whenever he's killing with the videos, you can do promo videos so that you don't have to put them outside of the comfort zone, and because they're still a kid. Now you find that and it's a bit of a weird one. It's a sensitive thing. It's a kid, and how the festival. So some of these things, they can be, you can control them. But just maybe going back to your question, stand up. So I think, having to understand, a lot of people who have been in the space have grown to understand what there's stand-up comedy, there's your actors as well, there's this comedic actors, there's your slapstick comedians and whatever way, your satirical comedians, your skit comedians. So people by similar they appreciate. So much that there's now comedians who do videos who will tell you, I am not doing stand-up comedy.
Because they know that.
Because they know this is a whole different
It's animal. A whole different...
And there are those that do stand-up comedy and, maybe are very iffy about jumping to the other side. I'm one of those.
Because there are a lot of those that you can see that this guy, yes, is funny. But tell him to MC, he's going to
they won't
be very
able
difficult.
to do that. And I think just as a comedian or as a performer, just know your craft and hone and perfect that. There's no need to just spread your fingers. Because the last thing you want to do is be that master of all I think jack of all trades and master of none.
Yeah.
Just have a specific thing that you know you can push and you know you can work at and do that. Yeah.
I feel like there's a guy. Just to mention names.
Name drop.
Muno Mutun.
Oh yeah.
Muno Mutuna is more of like a scenario building. And he also does the little impersonation.
Yeah.
If he can learn, like if he can learn how to talk directly to people. I don't know if he knows or whatever. If you can learn how to talk directly to people, then pull them from where they are into the scenario. I think he can make a great comedian. Like if I pull them into that scenario, work on that scenario because the scenarios is funny, then pull them to the next scenario because with the video elements and stuff, he's able to build that scenario. But to build it without any of the things in front of the people, it's a crazy thing.
It really is. And you know what the other crazy thing is? Mono Motona is actually he's quite a shy guy, dog. It's very in person. Like you meet him, he's very shy. He's always very reserved. I've met him a couple of times.
I can believe that.
But you know, I think I've shared with him as well. Like I think we're shooting some ad. Dude, you should consider stand-up comedy because you have really good content. I think Hanyin in hey, kind of confidence in life, because it's there and there. And you know, that's one thing I've always loved about. I mean,
he's an amazing scenario builder.
Yes,
he just needs to get people to that scenario. That's like, I mean, Trevor Noah would do that with like some of his stuff where he takes people to the scenario.
Paints a scenario.
He paints the scenario. Then from there he takes like that mining strike thing where you're like, put the gun down, Mazibuka. Put the gun down.
Why?
So Muno Mutuna can do the put the gun down. But he has to paint the picture of the environment for people to get that. Then move to that. I love being in Cape Town.
Like that thing, like the plane landing. Like, but the colored guys will tell you the story. Yo, the plane was coming, the peanuts was flying, that thing, the Trevor Noah thing. To paint that, you need to be very experienced or maybe just a bit more versatile with how you how you'd like people to portray what you're saying. And you know, you don't want to miss details. Because one of the crazy thing about doing stand-up comedy is that you can't miss details. You miss one detail, the joke goes all off. So you have to remember all of it.
You have to really paint that.
And so I remember there's a very good friend of mine called Seeks. He's a filmmaker. The guy's an actor. He says he's not big on live shows. Like live, like
he can't do. He
prefers the camera. It's a very fair thing to say. So I love theater. I have a background of theater as well. Theater performance.
Cool.
So I think about theater is that you're gone. There's no cut. It's unlike film. And for me, that is what gives me the drive. So when I get on stage as a stand-up comedian, it's me and the mic and the audience. And I have to make sure they laugh. There's no way I'm running off. There's no way I'm escaping. Except I think unlike
so what happens? You get in your zone. And
just zone in. I mean, you're always obviously nervous right before. Then you get into your zone. You do what you gotta do. As compared to a camera. I mean, I'm a film maker as well, film graduate professionally as well. But with a camera, I can say cut. Come make it live audience.
I think the greatest comedians have the ability to mess up and circle back to the joke without people noticing that he circled back to the joke.
That's the thing.
Then goes through.
Go through.
Then also there's something called comedic timing. We have it in music. We have it in music as well. Like for me, I used to just rap. What are you saying? What are the pauses? And they study the greats. Then they told me like, yo, what does Biggie do? It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, sort of paper. Those pauses are important.
What do they mean?
They like the human brain is receiving the information, and you allow him to marinate on the before you give him more
lines.
So it was all a dream. Or like Jay-Z's like, allow me to reintroduce myself. They call me Ho, H to the O-V. You know, the pause. I used to move snowflakes by the OZ. I guess even back then you could call me, you know, that kind of thing. So
see, that is timing at its core. There's there's a thing, I don't know, there's a movie that I watched, I don't know what it's called, but it's Zac Efron movie, and he's talking about, he's a DJ, he's an electro DJ, and he's talking about how he controls the audience. So got the MVP, similar like 60 MVP. At this point, they're gonna get to this point now. We're 128. From 128, there's a thing because but DJ set it's because we say it's only fair for it has a thing in your brain. You don't even...
And even with that, you can't finish everything. Everything has to finish at the same time.
Exactly.
The food has to...
If you need a piece of meat at the end, that needs to be... And so somebody that is performing needs to make sure they serve you in that way as well. By the time, staging. So that's comedic timing is something that's very, very important. Understanding, and it's something that I tried to, because then again I don't believe in my comedy space. You know, wherever I can share information, I should. So I'm always very much willing to share documents about comedy. You know,
but how's the reception? Are guys willing to listen? Or?
I mean, I think. Because I stand out, you know. Position, you know, like I try to be as sophisticated as I possibly can. I've done corporate gigs across, you know, from activations right up to like the events that corporate, you know, evening suited formal events.
How did you get yourself in that space, like the formal event?
It was a slow trajectory. Like, you know, I mean, it started off okay sharp activate somewhere. Activate okay sharp kanto khona go MCeeing at the time in get MC manyalo no formal proceedings. Unfortunately, I had a very good friend of mine, Khaole Menyani, he's in Ethiopia right now. He taught me quite a lot of basics about public speaking, like beyond comedy, just public speaking, protocol, acknowledging people. There's a certain way where you want to place your jokes, where you want to do this. So, you know, it just worked out for me because I was learning. And then I started also hosting the President's Concert. There was a President's Concert in my Tisong, and you know, that one was with a bit of creativity that, you know, that would put the whole concept together, but formalness to a degree. So I just started learning, and you know, because I grasped pretty fast as well. They can nuggets and I'm next thing you know, all the big corporates are looking for this funny guy who understands everything that we're talking about. So F&B will hit me up, yo, Bambino, pull through, dog. We have this thing, you know, you do your jokes, you do your thing, but this is the program we need you to be handling this.
They'll need you to have your serious aspect, your articulation aspect, amalgamate.
You know.
So you amalgamate. But at the same time, they also know that you are funny as well. So you kind of pull in crowds from different aspects.
So that worked out very conveniently for me because I really learned that, and they would have the guarantee how the program Bambino will make sure that the program goes accordingly. So everything I get, they're coming from a corporate standpoint. So we have you welcome to Max City Dirule Shapo. Says Dirule Hawa Huisua, Harantadi Award is an appreciate but but even through all of that, they're still having a good time.
Nice.
So
I think that the clumsiness, I'm now in the entertainment sphere as well. The clumsiness of the shows, I think we're still not yet there. You need somebody who can still, while something is not happening right, people feel like they're in good hands with somebody as well. So here's the question. What are you charging? Are you like is that keeping you alive, staying you afloat, like just comedy? I mean, maybe you can start us from the very beginning. How much did you charge for the first paid gig?
First paid gig.
If you're not comfortable saying
No, I don't mind saying it. No, it's just that I remember the joke. Are you free today? No, I'm expensive every day.
Come on.
I'm never free. So, I mean, I can't specifically say how much I made in that. I don't remember, in all honesty. But I went from your 1,500s, your
that was your
first ranges,
okay,
to your 2000s.
Were you thinking, oh no, this feels like if it was my only gig in this month, I can make that allowance equivalent.
I mean, at the time as well, can I remember this is a time where I just school nothing. So all I had was just my performance skills. So I'd been a part of a play, a theatrical play, which was a pantomime, Pinocchio. And then it was local.
Pinocchio.
Then it was localized, the baby do a Pinocchio. And then so I was Peño, and so I
watched that. I went there to watch.
You went there?
Yeah.
That Peño was me.
That third Peño, was that you? I
stood up. The adult Peño.
Then another Peño came in, and I was like, okay.
So the very first one was a toy, I get it.
Yeah.
And then I became the real toy, the
random
live toy.
The random guy who.
No. I get it. There's a kid. I get it. There's an old man. I think in the beginning of the play, there's an old man who and then a fairy sangoma. Not a fairy godmother. A fairy sangoma comes and then does a wish because the toy wishes to be a boy. And then a magic tricky, and then the toy turns into a toy boy. So it's still wooden, but it's so that was because there was a lot of lines.
I was confusing them with the previous one that had
Cinderella.
The Cinderella one.
Cinderella.
That's the one where the random guys were coming out the ground
with the bicycle.
Okay. Anyway, continue.
People that are watching are like, "What's going on? What are these guys talking about, guys?" It's a play. It was a play.
What's the name of the play director? What's his name again?
Aldo Brincat.
Very
talented man.
Met him before. Very talented.
So. Because I was able to just survive off of, just random jobs. And then I did a play in Winebidu Madima Joanna. Madima Joanna it was Bartley's project, Bartley's and Mighty Song in association with Mighty Song. So we go on I meet a
How are your parents feeling?
I mean, at this point, like this is now the time when I was trying to prove guys I can also bring a plastic. It has a 1.5 shop that's 40 panyana 300 tinyana.
What like a
bigger and you have to arrive balokola ping. You can't just arrive. 12. No. So I wait to get like my car on the quality yaka come away. I was about 6 like
plastic.
I want homeboy is trying to push, because I'm not trying to get kicked out of.
So what was your mom's like? Oh, okay.
I mean,
to
a degree, it was just one of those. I think she was proud. Okay, this guy clearly realized what he messed up, but he's trying to make something happen. And Lynn Knight, at that point, I've made it a point. BAC, because my parents, I don't think they'll be able to pay for me. And then I'm actually also very genuinely, I was out of it. I genuinely didn't want to do so. And I'm frustrated to a very good
because you're kind of like, there wasn't really like, from what you were saying, like a passion. You were kind of winging it. And you didn't want to wing it for the
rest of it. And now I had one thing that I was actually able to put in as much effort as I possibly could. And I did exactly that. And I put in the effort, dog. So all these plays that I was doing, I was able to make a bit of money. I even went on a tour, on a theater tour. We toured
this is the
Madima Joanna play, And then I met a very good friend of mine, Taton Sabele, who worked for an agency at the time. Shout out, the good neighbor. The guy put me on voiceover gigs because he realized I was still good with the imitating people. So I could speak like somebody who film stationing. I could speak like a CEO. I could speak like a random pantola guy. I could speak like Ketele Kopakalane type,
Nice.
And then so he just felt like because this guy is so versatile, you can get away with a lot. So I voiced so many adverts. And I was able to make money. 500 pulia an ad, I could make up to like 3-4 a month.
Nice.
So which meant, especially
knowing what 400
and then the rest I could do this. And, so that worked out for me, And then from there, I still kept on pushing. As part of my Disong, I joined a crew of comedians. By South Africa, by Soweto International Comedy Festival. Turns out, actually, the guy who started Soweto Comedy International Festival had worked with Bomode and Rip Cracker in 2008 when they were starting off. So then they pulled through. They heard about this new kid who's making waves, and that kid was me. So we sharp, and I was part of the headlining acts at Tamaiti Song Festival, and I was killing. We even had our own show. So from then, you know, you get. I was getting to appreciate the fact that I can really expand this. And then at that, I start now. I learn Hore. There's a film school that's opening up after.
Was just before that?
Yeah, before we get to
definitely you're making some. Were there times when it was tough, like a week, dry weeks, dry months? Yeah.
I remember there was a time my parents moved from. They had a house called Block 3. They moved. They had just recently built a house called Block 8. So that's the time. That's how they kicked me out of the house. Okay. No. Salagone or sharp, but to eat a play where Melahore, Cohating Nilhore, then the tenant to that lad saying. So whatever.
It was like a soft chase.
They
didn't like, really make it out there. But it implied after you figure out what you're gonna do.
And that's exactly what happened. So sharp. I think that period, because I genuinely felt very alone.
Yeah.
Like it was the first time and mind you, I'm like 22, you know, so this is very foreign to. I didn't even know how to cook. Because I used to cook for the dogs. So I had to learn the basics from you know, get a late bloomer, Rahela from that perspective. Then you know, I did all of that. I learned, and then
were you feeling like, should I go back home?
I couldn't. Sadly, I couldn't.
Yeah, because they're already.
I'm left in this house, and now even right. I think 6 months elapsed. I was staying alone. Hey man, I felt like that. Yeah, I was like, yeah, guys, I need to change my life. And then I'm just thinking, flip. Then I need to get a job. And that stressed me so much. So. My parents say, we have a house committee, which is a workshop. No, you won't need to pay rent. It's a 3-bedroom house. Mind you. So sharp. I moved back.
I can imagine.
I moved along with my and I lived there. Fortunately, then you know, the institution Avda.
Yeah.
And then I remember I stayed in MCeeing for 3 months.
Two chances.
Go on. And when I tried, I pushed so hard. And I'm just thinking, guys, I need this. One of that, I'd gotten.
What made you feel like film might be a way in, or might be a passion? Like, is there anything that were like?
Yeah, I think you know what? I think genuinely about the theater, like stage performance, because I love it more. It's more challenging. It's more you know, and I wasn't able to get access to that. And to get into it, there's a program called Drama for Life, and I wasn't able to get in. And also think about sponsoring. So you know, this was the closest thing for me to do theater. And I got there and I fell in love with film. Much as you know, I'd never worked with film work hella proper. So at that point, I saw what movie magic is, and that was magic for me. And you know, getting to realize because I'm also very talented in a lot of things, you find that across all modules, I'm super exceptional. And there's also obviously things that I stand out in. So also
picking out a level of confidence in you, like your automatic confidence.
Where's
that coming from? Is it, were you ever a shy kid, or just like...
I was a horribly shy kid. I think, even when I was primary, a funny guy. I think because all I remember is I was just shy, dog. I would never express myself.
Okay.
So clearly, the few times that I did was so magical that
it was memorable. Okay.
Yeah, very memorable.
Yeah.
I mean, the confidence did build and grow over time because it was a thing. You know, the more you get on stage, you know, the nerves are always obviously going to be there. I remember my very first time I performed on an international, you know, Kishara stage an international act. Shit. An opening act, so I need to make sure that I kill. You know, so there's so much pressure in that regard. But I got to learn as soon as you get onto the stage, the very first minute or the first word that comes out of your mouth, it's that's the end of the comedy show because I've already started. I got to more autopilot.
Yeah.
Jokes galore. So it just helped in that I just know that I just need to get through the very first hurdle or the very first word. I know that from there I just flow through. Even if I think, and also there's a guy called Baxter, South African based Zimbabwean comedian based in South Africa. The guy told me, just always understand and know that you're a funny guy. At the end of the day, whether people don't laugh today, you're a funny guy.
Stop.
And I had to learn that, and I took that in, and I understood how to sharp. I'm going to make you guys laugh.
Another thing I'm just picking up from you is like you're also learning. You're picking from
from so
directly and indirectly. You keep picking from different people.
I think it's something that I realized I had to learn because especially if I'm trying to also just find my own language, find my own path. I'll need to then know what other people are doing so as to either avoid that or see how it can inspire me to do better.
Okay. So right now, are they comedians that are actually doing like exceptionally well?
Yeah.
Making a living for themselves type vibe? Or is it like a handful? Like what is the environment?
It is a handful of comedians that are actually making something out of
handful, keyboard 10.
Yeah. Let me say, I think that's a decent number to put. Yeah. Around 10.
Okay.
And this, if we're talking stand-up comedians as well, just specifically stand-up comedians.
Yeah.
I'm one of them. So I'm able to make. Unfortunately, I think because it's not just comic that I do. Also MC events. I also do quite a lot of other
voiceovers. A few other things.
I'm a film director.
Jumping into film as well.
So there's a lot. Yeah. So I'm able to. I drive my own car. I'm able to pay my own rent. I'm able to, support my lavish my somewhat lavish lifestyle. I can literally on a random day sharp. Magriza. Swara da outlo, Uriana yan, timer, Swara da outlo, Uriana yan,
And then they look at you like, got you.
And then I wait for the day when it's a rainy day, and then I'm like, hey, lady, how about Swara Sunganyana? And then she's like, which happens. But
it's fun times.
Yeah, fun times. So I'll just mention a couple. There's me. There's Johnny Pula. He's a stand-up comedian as well, but he also does videos. Yeah. And he's really good at that as well. He works with a guy called Tricks. They have a show called Johnny Pula and Tricks Show. But they're really, really great stand-up comedians. We have Mod. And these are not in no particular order, by the way. We have a guy called Baldwin Balls. He runs a weekly comedy show actually, Gonotwane as well, a local club bar.
Somebody was telling me about Balls.
Yeah, very funny guy. Yeah. And then there's Mawe.
It was Cass. Cass was telling me about Balls. Yeah.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. Crazy. Yeah.
It was like, wow, that's a weird name. He's like, yeah. Then he kind of broke it down for me. Or it's Baldwin.
Balls. Yeah. So then there's Mawe, who does like a lot of Botswana material. But then but he's very, very good at it, and he's performed internationally, Mafikings, and locally around as well.
Nice.
So he's able to make a bit. It's just that are
you fighting the same struggle that artists fight with bookings, trying to get like your accurate pay or
yeah. I mean that I think just weirdly enough for comedians, the hunger for performance stage is not as much for some reason. Only a handful of comedians, literally I get a handful, I mean like maybe 5 or 6 people want to jump onto stages. Not a lot of people are hungry to want to jump onto the stage. So you find that a lot of and it's now you feel like I'm begging you. And so that's the last thing I ever want to. I want people to.
So what is it? Was it like there's not enough money, or so you find like these people are talented but they just don't want to jump on?
That one. 2, it's also a thing. You find that the pay, is not as
discouraging.
It's discouraging.
Yeah.
Then you find also it's people. I mean, I'll be hosting a show.
Yeah.
And then you get gents, and then and then so there's also that fear.
I get it. I don't want to be the fourth best guy.
So I
don't want to be the least funny guy.
It literally gets to a point where people fear like jumping on after me type missions, and I'm like, no guys, be brave enough. Be brave enough to say, place me anywhere on the lineup, and I will kill.
I'm good.
Hey,
but
whoever comes before
do you think there's a laziness aspect, like a lack of work ethic? Because if certain guys, probably who would like, if this guy would work on his craft, he would probably be like really good.
Do you know what? I'll give you a perfect example of somebody that actually put in the work.
Yeah.
And it paid off.
Yeah.
William Last. William Last. This guy started like I think 2017.
Yeah.
He also did a bit of stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
He came through to the basement comedy, Raga Raga. He had a couple of good performances, and one of them was bad. And he just felt, hey, maybe I should leave this. I'm like, no. You'll have a couple of bad performances, especially because you're still starting off.
Yeah. And you talking to him. And
we're just having an outies chat.
Yeah.
Chat. And then, soon after that, I don't know who else maybe inspired him as well when he was, deciding on that. I decided to a one-man show. And he sold out. In the New Capital Cinema, like countless times. I think like he had 2 nights running. He sold both of them. He had another time that he still sold out. And unfortunately, I couldn't make the shows. I think I was doing another project. I was working on another project.
William's work ethic is out of this world.
Very, very immaculate. Like the guy
right now is in South Africa, but he's working.
He's grinding.
We are not seeing him on holiday. Like that guy is just working.
And that's one thing because a lot of people will say, he doesn't make me laugh, and which is fine. It's not everybody that will make he will make laugh. There's people that look at Kevin Hart and say this guy's not funny. Then there's millions of people.
But
that
you
say
can't
Kevin
deny the work ethic. It's ridiculous.
And you can't deny the fact that he has the millions.
And he's got the millions
you think
to
what?
follow.
So people are just following for nothing.
Yeah.
So that's something that I genuinely believe, and his work ethic is going to get him places that I can't even begin to imagine. So
he kind of had some bad times. You kind of walked with him and like
I don't want to make it seem like I taught him anything.
No,
but just outies chats. Outies chats. And I could say, dog, hey, but if you could work on this, it could work better. We did a skit together. And I think he also, because in land shoot that song together. And I liked the way he worked. He liked the way I worked. I liked his creativity. We had just a proper real synergy, which worked super nice. And from there, I think we came in just a bit closer, and we spoke about just possibly moving out of the country. And it was a dope thing. So crazy that he had done the Dubai thing. I think he was an expo ambassador of sorts. And I was in South Africa at the time. I had a couple of shows that I was performing at.
Nice.
So literally, even hey, doggo, actually, let's link up. Hey, 2 flipping Botswana comedians,
come on now.
And we link up, and it's like, yo, what do you do? And and that to me just felt like, well, we're actually getting somewhere, you know? And ever since then, I don't know if Mutsatsarapa then pushed to relocate for good, or if he comes back. I don't even know his arrangement is, but it's something that because I've seen his work ethic, it's
encouraging.
It's very encouraging, and he's way younger than me. And my thing, and I always have this question now: why aren't you there? Personally.